What happens when a man reveals that he is a police informant to the wrong woman? Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sydney Morgan. Make sure if you like this video, you give it a thumbs up, you subscribe, and in the comments say hi or let me know what you think of the case. In 2009 in Phoenix, Arizona, police were notified that there was a dumpster on fire in a parking lot. So police notified fire rescue. Fire rescue shows up. They start to put out the fire, but they realize that in that dumpster, there was a body. But not a full body. So police were called out to start an investigation of whose body this was and kind of like where the rest of the body was too. But once they started looking at the burnt body, they realized that there really wasn't any teeth, so they couldn't use dental records to identify him. So they sent the body off to be autopsied. And in that autopsy, they realized that the fingers had been burnt so bad that there really wasn't any fingerprints, but they did manage to find one that they could piece together and identify him as 46-year-old Terry Neely. They found out that Terry lived in an assisted living facility because he was confined to a wheelchair. On August 2nd, around 8 p.m., Terry was seen on surveillance leaving in his wheelchair, but they didn't know where he went. Later, they would find out that when he left, he met up with a friend of his named Angela Simpson. And Angela Simpson and him were friends because they had a similar interest in like drugs and stuff. So they met up, and Angela claims that Terry started telling her and pretty much bragging about the fact that he was a police informant, and he was bragging about how many people he had put in prison. Angela claims she doesn't know any of the people that he claimed that he put in prison, or if him being a police informant was actually a real thing. And Angela was pissed. She was absolutely pissed. She hated snitches. So she told him that she was going to give him some drugs and they were going to partake in some sexual activity back at her place. So they went back to her place. This is Angela's account of what happened once they got back to her place. Once inside, Angela claims that she tied him to his wheelchair, put him in front of a mirror, and she started beating him. She says that she put him in front of a mirror so that he would be forced to watch his own torture. Angela says that she started yanking his teeth out one by one, and then she started beating him over the head with a tire iron. Then she grabbed a knife and she began to stab him in the body and neck, and the autopsy would show that it was over 50 times that she stabbed him. Angela also hammered a 3-inch nail into his skull that went into his brain. But he didn't die. He lived through all this torture. And the craziest part is that all of this torture took place within a 3-day time period. He was tortured for 3 days straight by getting his teeth yanked out and stabbed and beaten in the head and nails put in his head. That's crazy. Nope. I feel so bad for Terry. But they would later find out that Terry's actual cause of death was strangulation from a cord. Once she strangled Terry and knew that he was dead, she began to dismember him. She cut off some of his limbs. That's when she took the main torso part of his body to the dumpster, lit it on fire. Later, police would find that the remaining limbs that she had dismembered and cut off, those were still in her home. So police started to interrogate Terry's friends, people that he was known to be around. And once they decided to start talking to Angela, it wasn't hard to find her because her and her friend Cracker were her and her friend Cracker were actually oh god, that's a terrible nickname. They were actually already in jail because they were caught after trying to do an armed robbery. So police go and talk to Angela, and right off the bat, Angela admits, yeah, I killed him. So it was fairly easy for police to find that killer. She just openly admitted to it right off the bat. And Angela was super honest and upfront about everything that happened. She told these police everything that she did to this man. In court, Angela just went ahead and pled guilty to the murder. She was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. She actually got 14 more years for that armed robbery with Cracker that she... I can't even say his name. It's so silly. But here's the really shocking part of this case, is that almost immediately after she was sentenced, she did an interview. And in this video, she truly showed everybody what a cold-blooded killer she really was. Like, she had no expression for most of the interview. Her eyes just looked crazy. But she was extremely honest. The interviewer had asked if she thought that the sentencing was fair. And Angela straight up told him, like, no, I don't think it's fair. I think I should have gotten the death penalty. She was extremely honest. She says that she has absolutely no remorse for killing Terry because he was a snitch. And the interviewer asked, well, what if he wasn't a snitch? What if he just said that to you and it wasn't true? She said, oops, if he wasn't, and laughed. This woman's scary. Totally scary. Absolutely terrifying. Then she goes on to say that she is perfectly fine with spending the rest of her life in prison because she has a lot of friends that are already in prison that are like her family to her. She says it's not much of a punishment when I get to spend the rest of my life with my family. Her demeanor in her interview was crazy. Like, I almost, and I know this is probably going to sound bad, but I almost have like some respect for her in a way for how she spoke honestly, because you see other interviews where people are like lying their asses off, like, I didn't kill this person, I didn't do it, I blah, 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 you know, trying to defend themselves. She's not defending herself. She straight out says, look, this is what I did, this is why I did it, I think I should have got the death penalty, you guys let me off too easy. She's very honest, and I think that's why this makes this interview so shocking, because nobody does that. Everybody lies their ass off. I'm going to link that video to her interview below. Go check it out because it's bone chilling. It is. It truly is. It's bone chilling. It's crazy. But that's all that I have for today. Make sure that if you like this video, you give it that thumbs up. You subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And in the comments, let me know what you think about this case, or even just say hi. I post true crime cases multiple times a week, so if you subscribe and you get the notifications, you can come back and chit chat with me. I have multiple other true crime videos on my channel. Make sure you go check those out.